Beep 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 do. All right, making lunch with Brandon. Cooking with Brandon, whatever you want to call it. What I've done is I've diced up some carrots, some celery, some shallots, some garlic, throwing some oregano in there. And then we'll go on to the next steps after this cooks down a little bit. You want to get a little translucent. This is like a modified sofrito. All right, for the next step, I worried myself. I thought, oh shit, the wife drank all the red wine. Good news. I've got bottles and bottles and bottles of it that I just made myself. Yippee! Yeah, all right, I poured about a cup and a half red wine in there. It looks a little funky right now because it's fresh. I'm going to let all that cook off and start to evaporate. Make sure there's no more booze left in it. And then what we'll do is we'll add our crushed tomatoes and tomato paste. Alright, once you can see past the steam there, cook this down. Pretty good. There's a little bit of water left in there. Everything's getting pretty soft. And that's alright. So what we're doing here is grabbing whole tomatoes in the can, crush them, put them in. It's not that big of a deal. These things are cheap. They don't cost much. If you don't like that, grab a frickin' colander, sieve, mash them through the air, but tomatoes aren't going to bite you. Do that till you're all done, and then add in your tomato paste. Yeah, alright, that's all in. You're probably thinking, you know, holy shit, we've done most of the steps for a bolognese sauce other than the meat. This next step is also for bolognese. We're going to pop a lid on this bad boy. We're going to let her simmer for like 3 hours. Stirring every once in a while. Pop the lid off. And then let her cook down a little bit more. I promise this will all make sense. Alright, lid's on it. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some bone-in, skinned chicken thighs because they're cheap as fuck. We're going to slice down the bone, basically fillet them off the bone like a fish. Use a nice deboning knife, paring knife, or whatever the hell you have. It's not a cutting video. We're not into self-harm here. We're into self-help because delicious, tasty treats. As Baddy the Pimblet said, I'd rather be fat and happy than sad and skinny. Good luck on January 24th, Baddy. Rock it. After we debone and deskin those chicken thighs, I'm gonna pound them all out, just like Paddy the Pimblet will be doing on January 24th, and we'll go from there. So, I said things would make sense, I guess ish. What I've done while no one was looking is I put a generous amount of black pepper, some sea salt in there, and then I grabbed one of these doohickeys and I blended it up. And you may ask, but Brandon, why'd you take time to crush all those tomatoes? And maybe I just fucking like crushing the tomatoes, alright? Whatever. Alright, now here's where things get crazy. I pounded these out, what I did, saran wrap over top, use a roller pin, pound them out, not so hard you're going to tear the meat apart. After that, we're going to take some of this wad stuff, boom. You can make your own, I'm sure, but who's got time for that? And we're going to spread it on there, a little bit of seasoning. Yeah, alright, since plans changed, we had some back bacon in the fridge. I'm just going to throw a dollop throw some back bacon, wrap them up. Alright, so there's our neat little bundles. I'm going to pop these bad boys in the freezer, let them get a little stiff, and then I'm going to batter them. I'm going to fry them up. This batter is going to be a little different. Alright, now this is where it gets wild. I took those chicken skins that I skinned off of the thighs, and I dropped them in some frying oil. Now they're crispy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mash these up into a fine powder. I'm gonna add them into my seasoned breadcrumb mixture. And by the way, that's just the heels or whatever the heck you want to call those things off a loaf of bread. Set out to dry, blend it up, and then add your own seasoning after. So we're gonna put chicken skins in the breading. So even though they're boneless, skinless chicken thighs now, they're not really gonna be skinless. Alright, look at that beautiful breadcrumb mixture. Chunks in it. Alright. Look at those. We're gonna pop them back in the freezer. Let that breading set up. I realized I may not have said what was in the wet dip. It was just whipping cream and a couple of eggs. Season. Alright, check this shit out. We're about 3 hours in. It's got some nice pull to it. Not a lot of moisture, surprisingly. Having the lid on that whole time. But, yeah, that's pretty much what you're looking for. I'm going to take the lid off and let her thicken up just a little bit more. And then it'll be good to go. I also had to add a couple more seasonings to it. Just taste it. See what you like. And there you have it. Cross between cordon bleu and chicken parm on a bit of basmati rice, topped with some parmesan and a little bit of oregano for garnish. Love you, bye.